Alright, guys, we've reached the final in Houston. It is the second seed Francis Tiafoe, who has reached his third consecutive final here in Houston after winning the title in 2023 and then losing in 3 sets to Ben Shelton last year. He will now be taking on the qualifier, Jenson Brooksby, who is still ranked super low because he has been coming back from a suspension, and he has made his way into his 4th career final. I thought that it would be Tommy Paul instead of Brooksby in this final, but Brooksby performed another Houdini act by winning another match in a 3rd set tiebreak, like he did against Tabilo in the 2nd round. Tabilo, who was a choker. He's known for being a massive choker. He was leading by a set and a break. He is a far more experienced clay court player than Brooksby, and yet he still lost in a 3rd set tiebreak after being up 6-3. And yeah, Brooksby got a little bit lucky with his returns and hitting the net, but this was still a classic Tabilo choke, which we have come to expect from him, unfortunately. So Brooksby survived that match by the skin of his teeth, and he did something similar in this match. Won again 7-6 in the 3rd, and he saved a match point along the way. It was a very low quality final set tiebreak between Paul and Brooksby. It was just error after error on the 2nd shot, basically. But Brooksby was able to save that match point at 6-5 in the tiebreak and get the win. I believe it was like 8-6 in the tiebreak, probably. Paul low-key choked. He had that match point, which I don't think Brooksby did anything amazing. I think it was just an error from Paul or something like that. But not only that, Paul could have won this match in straight sets, like I predicted. He lost the 1st set in the tiebreak 7-5, and he won the 2nd set 6-3. Then he lost the final set 7-6. But in that 1st set tiebreak, he was up 5-2, and he let this kid come back and win 5 points in a row to win that tiebreak 7-5. So Paul could have easily won that 1st set tiebreak. He just needed to win 2 points from 5-2 up. But instead he lost 5 points in a row. Had he won that 1st set tiebreak, he most certainly could have won this match in straight sets because he won the 2nd set 6-3. But he kind of choked in that 1st set tiebreak, and he allowed Brooksby to get ahead in the match. And in the final set, Brooksby was up 4-1, and Paul actually came back to level it at 4-all. But then it ended up going to a tiebreak, which was very tight, like I already said, and Brooksby won after saving that 1 match point. So Brooksby is in the final now. On the other hand, Tiafoe won over Nakashima, like I predicted, but he did it in straight sets instead of 3 sets. But the 2nd set was a tiebreak, so had a few more points gone Nakashima's way, this could have easily gone 3. Nakashima was also up an early break in that 2nd set, so this most certainly could have gone 3. But anyway, Tiafoe won a pretty close 2-set match. So now the final is Tiafoe versus Brooksby, obviously All-American. It has been that way since the quarterfinals, and half of the entire tournament draw was basically Americans to begin with, like I was already saying in a previous video. That's how they do it in Houston. So the head-to-head between Tiafoe and Brooksby is actually 2-love to Brooksby. They played twice on hard courts in 2021 and 2022 when Brooksby was in the best form of his career, perhaps. Except for maybe now. Maybe he's even better now. But that was when he was kind of first coming out and was pretty good around that time. and he defeated Tiafoe in straight sets in both of those hard court meetings, actually. So the last one was kind of funny too, because I remember it was well, I didn't remember that it was as well. I kind of remembered maybe that it was, I don't know. Anyway, it was a semifinal in Atlanta, but the thing I remembered was that Brooksby was imitating Tiafoe's LeBron James celebration, where he does the thing with his legs and like pushes down and puts his knees up. Apparently Tiafoe had done that for some of his other matches, and Brooksby defeated Tiafoe, and then he imitated that, and it looked really funny when he did that, because he was just doing it like so casually. He's like and just did the celebration just like that. And Tiafoe shook hands, and Tiafoe did not look very happy, and then Brooksby was just staring at him. So that was a pretty funny end of the match interaction. And you look up Brooksby versus Tiafoe Atlanta 2022, you can see that. So that was pretty funny. So maybe a little beef between the two players, but no, I don't think anything major. But it seems that Tiafoe doesn't really like playing this guy, yet he will play him in this clay court final, which will be their first meeting on clay. Well, even though Brooksby has won their 2 meetings in straight sets, I'm going to go with Tiafoe to win this one in straight sets. And the reason for that is that Brooksby has never won a title. He has been in 3 finals, and he has lost all of them in straight sets. So I think he will do the same here. I think that the experience will make the difference here. Tiafoe, who has won multiple titles, has won here in Houston and has been in the final the past 2 years, so he is in his 3rd consecutive final here, as I said at the beginning of the video. Brooksby is in his 1st final here, and he shouldn't even be here, because this guy got mad lucky against Tabilo. Yeah, I know Tabilo's a choker, but whatever. I mean, he got lucky, Tabilo choked, whatever. But he is survived by the skin of his teeth, is what I am saying. He has come through 2 or maybe even 3 matches, because his first match in qualifying, he almost lost against the top seed in qualifying, Federico Agustin Gomez. And Brooksby came through that match. It was like 4-6, 7-6, 6-3. So he might have saved a match point in that first qualifying match as well. Then he saved match points against Tabilo. Then he just saved a match point against Paul. So 2 matches with a final set tiebreak. Total of like 4 matches that have gone to a deciding set. Perhaps 3 matches where he saved match points. This guy has just refused to be put away. But I think Tiafoe will put him away. I don't believe Tiafoe has dropped a set in this tournament. He has played fewer matches than Brooksby, because Brooksby came through qualifying, but Brooksby dropped sets in both qualifying and in the main draw. He has had to play more matches than Tiafoe. I don't think fatigue will really be an issue, though, because this guy seems like he can run around all day, and it is still just a small tournament. Qualifiers have been doing this forever, so where they have to play a lot of matches in a small best-of-3 tournament, so I think he will be okay physically. But I just think the experience with Tiafoe having been in the final of this tournament the past 2 years, having been a champion here, having won multiple tournaments in his career when Brooksby has never won any, Brooksby having barely survived, and Tiafoe having not dropped a set, the contrast there as well, I think all those things will make the difference here, which is why I think Tiafoe will win this match in straight sets. And I think that Frances Tiafoe will be the champion of Houston in 2025.